Hey, Yuli here, parttimebusinessbuilder.com. Wanted to say good morning, hello, from a little bit of a rainy and gloomy northern Michigan, right on Lake Michigan here. Again, hanging out with the pup, throwing some sticks, and kind of going for a nice little walk this morning after a good workout. So, kind of enjoying the summer. You know, it's kind of drawing to a close, so we want to take advantage of it as much as we can before the snow starts flying. But I was also listening to a very interesting podcast course. One of my coaches, Ty Lopez, puts together a couple different mentoring programs, and this is one of them that I'm listening to now. And I just listened to an awesome one about being patient and being impatient. It's the IP principle, the IP versus the PI principle, and I'd love to explain it to you in more detail in about a second or two. I'm going to finish up this walk. I just wanted to get this out there, so I reminded myself to go ahead and put this video together for you. And I'm going to talk about for about 5 to 10 minutes on the difference between being impatient and patient, and patient and patient. You'll get it in a second when I explain it to you on my board. So when I get back to my office, I will put this together for you, and I'll have it over to you here shortly. So stick around, and I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, bye. All right, well, welcome back. Obviously, I didn't take a couple minutes. I was probably about an hour while I was finishing up my walk, but now I'm here, and due to the magic of modern technology and modern advances, it seems like I Flash Gordoned it here, and I made it here within a couple seconds. But know that that is absolutely not true. I still walked for a little bit. Got a little bit more time to listen to more of that podcast or that coaching call that I was on. And like I mentioned in a couple other videos, I've been doing a lot of coaching and mentoring programs. So I've been trying to really get better every day. So every day I'm learning something new. Every day I'm touching base with coaches and mentors and other things that I've been doing to make my experience on this planet Earth a little bit better. And what does that mean for you? The good thing is that whatever I learn, I'm going to try to relay it over to you, so you have that information as well. So that's kind of a win-win. You listen to my stuff, and you're going to get some information from some top-tier coaches and some top-tier mentors and some really high-level people that I've been learning from day to day. And that's social stuff, self-development, business, online business, marketing, stuff like that. Fitness. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I've down to my lightest weights that I've been since probably I was in the Marine Corps, which was a long time ago, not to date myself. But so I'm back down to a good fitness level, and I have to give thanks to my CrossFit coaches, my cycling coaches. They're not really cycling coaches per se, but they're people I train with that are a heck of a lot better than I am and are pushing me to my limits, which is making me a heck of a lot better. You might not benefit from that, but you will benefit from all the other mentoring and all the other coaching that I'm doing, whether it's business, social, self, stuff like that. You're going to get the benefit of that. But I don't want to bore you with all that. But today, what I'm going to tell you about is a little conversation, not a conversation, but a video I was listening to, or audio I was listening to while I was walking my dog earlier. And it was, Ty Lopez is a new coaching program that I'm doing, mentoring apprenticeship program, business accelerator program. And it's top notch. And if you don't know who he is, go check him out. He's really cool. I don't get paid for that. I just think he's really cool, and he's smart as heck. All right, so today what I'm going to talk about is, and I know a lot of you have had this conversation with yourself. I actually had this conversation with a friend last week before I listened to this audio, so I didn't really know how to answer her. But she had said to me, she's in her mid-30s, a little younger than I am, and she said to me, she goes, I wish I knew then what I know now. And I bet you a lot of you guys, and I'm trying my new board here instead of a whiteboard because I think it's a lot easier to manage. I wish I knew then what I know now. So I'm going to write that down because a lot of you have, I wish I knew then what I know now. Now, I know that many of you have probably had the same conversation in your head, had the same question, or even the same thought. I wish I knew in my 20s, I wish I knew in my teens what I knew in my 20s. Or I wish I knew in my 20s what I know in my 30s. Or I wish I knew in my 30s what I know in my 40s. But what you start to understand is there's a pattern, right? I mean, there's a pattern that you can go, I mean, I wish when I was 80, I learned what I know now that I'm 90. You know, there's a pattern that consistently moves you forward up that ladder. That ladder of I wish. That ladder of I wish I did this. I wish I knew this. If I would have known when I was 20 that I should take 10% of my income, no matter where it comes from, military, side jobs, wherever it comes from, take 10% of that and put that in some sort of investment, I'd be a millionaire right now, right? But some people still say that in their 40s. Some people say in their 50s, say, you know, if I knew in my 40s what I know now about investing, I'd be rich by the time I was 70. And they still don't do it. and they wait again, and they wait some more. And the theory behind that, it's called what Ty said, it's called the pace of learning. And pardon my writing here. I actually have really good penmanship. Pace of learning, blah, blah. Okay. Really have really good penmanship, but this is the first time I have to write in this position, so I did some practice earlier, but I don't know if I'm that good at it yet. So it's called the pace of learning. So like a 17-year-old will say, well, why do I need to learn about money? I'm only 17. A 17-year-old doesn't need to learn that. A 17-year-old doesn't need to know about money. But then when they're in the mid-20s, I'm like, oh, now I'm on the student debt. I wish I knew then what I know now about this debt. And that continually progresses up the ladder. And that's the pace of learning. So you always push something off until tomorrow. You always push it off to the next day. There's a quote that says, you treat your fears like you're mortal, and you treat your passions like you're immortal. Which means things that you're afraid of, things that you have to do right now, you do right now. You know, so you treat it like you're mortal. Like, I can't do it tomorrow, I have to do it today. What if tomorrow never comes? I have to do it today. Because you're afraid that you're going to miss something. But your passions, the thing that you love, the things that you really want to do, travel, you know, start a business, you know, learn how to invest, the things that you're passionate about, things that you want to do, you treat like you're immortal. Like, I can do that tomorrow. Or there's always next. I can do that in my 20s. I can do that in my 30s. I can do that in my 40s. I can do that in my 50s. I can do that in my 90s. But you never do it. Because you treat it as though you're immortal. And obviously we're not. You know, we're not at that. Medicine hasn't advanced that far yet. So you treat that like you have forever to do it. So we never do it. And the theory behind that, there's all sorts of theories in this this little twist I'm doing, or this video I'm doing today. And I'm trying to keep it short, so pay attention, and I'll move fast. The theory behind that is called, it's the PI versus the IP theory. Now, what does that mean? Patience, impatience. Impatient, patient. So basically, this is what this is saying. The IP, you want to go from a PI to an IP when it comes to things that you want to do, like your passions. You want to start a business. You want to get fit. You want to work. You know, you want to start losing some weight. You want to run a marathon. You want to, you know, it could be anything. You want to meet more people. You want to fall in love. It works for every part of your life. It's not just finance and business. It's social. It's romance. It's everything. It's fitness. It's health, love. So it's a lot of things all wrapped up into one. So what most of us do is that we're patient first, and then we're impatient. So what that means is, like, let's say, I have no money, I have a job, but I really want to increase my income, and I want to make more money, and I want to make a better life for me and my family. What do I do? Well, maybe I can start my own business. Okay, but I'm patient about it. I said that 2 years ago. You know, I may have said it a year ago again. I may have said it again 6 months ago, but we treat it as though we're immortal because we just keep putting it off and putting it off because we don't think that it's that important. It's not fear-based. You know, it's kind of what we want to do. We think it's a good idea, so we do it. And then when we finally do get to it, after a year or 2 or 3, we finally do get to it, or 10 years, like a lot of people put it off to the next decade of their lives. As soon as you start to do it because you've been patient, then you get really impatient when you're in there. Like, oh, this doesn't work, or I can't believe I'm awful at playing the piano. I'm not going to do this anymore. So you're extremely impatient. So you go from being patient to getting there whenever you get around to it, to finally having the time to do it, to now being impatient about it because it took you so long to get there that now that you are there, the thrill is gone. The thrill is gone. So you get to that point where you just become impatient and then you quit. And that's why there's a big, huge churn rate in businesses, and people learn how to invest, and people picking up instruments, and in the gym. The fitness industry is a very high yielding industry because so many people sign up for something because they've been saying, I'm going to lose weight, January 1st, resolutions. I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to start working out. Then they've been patient about doing it because they're waiting. They're setting a 10-year goal, not a 10-minute goal, and we'll get to that in a second. They're patient about getting to it and doing it and do it. And then finally when they get to it, they're like, oh, this is hard. Oh, this sucks. Oh, I'm not making any progress. Because you know what? They get impatient because they don't understand that it'll take a year, 18 months to get there. Now what we want to do is get to this side of this. It's not a quadrant because there's only 2 sides to it. So we want to get to this column, which is impatient, then patient. So if you want to lose weight, don't wait till January 1st. Be impatient. Start right now. Boom. Immediately. Like, go ahead, do it right now. The second that there's a 38% rule, and the second you have enough data, knowing that you're at least 38% sure you want to do something, then that's the time to act. You'll never be 100% sure. That's over here. So once you get to that 38, 40%, you know, I'm pretty sure that I want to do this. Like, I'm pretty sure. That's when you got to do it. Do something immediately. If it's lose weight, go downstairs and throw all the junk food away. Or if it's learn how to play the piano, I want to learn how to play piano. You start right now. You're 38% sure you want to do it, right? You start right now, and then you go on YouTube and you find a video about how to, or who to talk to. Get started right now. You know, and then that brings in the impatience thing. That's when you want to go in there and do it right away. Then, this sounds a little weird, but once you're in, and once you get going, and once you got your foot in the door, once you started that business, once you signed up with that coach, once you signed up with that mentor, once you got to that next step in your life where now you're doing it, you're in, you're on the right track, then you want to be patient. That's when you want to be patient. That's when you have to start to realize, it might take me a year. It might take me 18 months. It might take me 2 years. But now you're patient, but you're in, and you're doing it. And you're starting to learn stuff. Like if it's read a book, you know, you're reading a book a month, you want to change it to a book a week. Be impatient, pick up another book, start reading it. But then once you're in there, don't overdo it. You know, like you're chugging beer. You know, some people chug beer right away, but they can't chug too much. You know, there's a point where you got to throttle it back, kick it back a notch, and be patient again. So get in it right away, and once you got your foot in the door, and once you're moving in that right direction, you know you're heading in that right direction, be patient, take your time, learn everything as you go. And I'm going to kind of give you a quick example of this, and then I'll let you go. I'm going to flip this chart over. Ty talks a lot about the wealth triangle, or wealth pyramid. I hate saying the word pyramid, but the wealth triangle. And then I'm going to explain to you the patient, impatient rule here. And at the bottom of this, he calls Trump debt. I think Donald Trump was $2 billion in debt at one point, and, you know, there was nothing he could do. He had zero things to do, and this has nothing to do politically or anything. I like Donald Trump, whether as a celebrity and as a business mentor and a business coach. I haven't made any decisions politically, so don't even ask. Trump debt. Then you got the second one is scarcity. So basically, this is where you're like underwater. You know, you have zero. I mean, you have less than zero. You're like negative zero. You're in debt. You're hurting. You have nothing. Okay, here is, you're probably making between $70,000 per year and under. So that's scarcity. I mean, you can be making 70 and be okay, but in the 50, 40 range, if you have a family of 3, you're really struggling. You know, 70, that's kind of scarcity. It's not, hey buddy, it's my dog just walked in. You're not hurting, but let me check that video. Yeah, it's still running. You are potentially, you know, you're just making ends meet. There's the third level, and this is financial freedom. This is about $70,000 to about $150,000 a year. Now, by no means is that wealthy, right? I mean, $70,000 to $150,000 a year. You're just a hair above the scarcity route, but now you're in a position in your life where things are happening. Like, you have a little extra money to do a couple things, travel a little bit, go around things. So you can actually pay your bills and still have money at the end of the month. You know what I mean? You have check left after every month. So you start to put some away, you start to invest, you start to slowly get there. So that's the level you're at there. That's financial freedom, honestly. I mean, a lot of people think financial freedom is, you know, living abroad, flying, jetting all over the place. Financial freedom is getting to the point where, at the end of the day, you're doing what you love. You have the ability to do things that you love. And at the end of the month, you have some money to put away and invest for your future. Okay? So that's financial freedom. Don't get that twisted with the, I got to be a millionaire to be financially free. You got to be in good position in life. The next one up is called prosperity. And that's $150,000 to a cool mill. So that puts you in prosperity range. That's when you're, you know, financial free, what most people think financially free is, and you're at that level in life where you're really doing things. You know, you're really going out, you're really having fun, you're doing what you love, you get to help some people out, a little friend, family. And then up here is wealth and impact. And that's obviously 1 million plus. And this is all a year. And this is a very broad scale. This isn't something that is 100%. There's no science behind this. I mean, as far as I know, there's no science. Maybe there is. And this is when you could actually make some impacts, help other people. You could actually change the world. Help change the world at that level. Not that you can't at this level. You know, you could help change the world. Mother Teresa didn't make a whole lot of money, and she changed the world, right? Martin Luther King changed the world. He didn't make a whole lot of money. So you can make a whole, you can change the world down here, but you know, it's a lot easier when you have this kind of wealth to make impact. So getting back to the impatient patient, somebody who's here wants to get here. Somebody who's here wants to get here, and so on and so forth. So this is the route that most people should be taking. You know, you don't want to try to get from here to here, okay? Not in one jump. Some people do, but not in one jump. So if you're here and you know you need to get here, but you put yourself in a position where like, oh, wait, you know, I don't really, you know, things are money's tight right now. Where am I going to get the opportunity to learn something new that'll get me to this point? Where am I going to find the time to learn something new to get me to this point? Because you're not just going to jump to that point. You're going to have to learn a new skill. You're going to have to get to that point. You have to, whatever that skill is, whether it's getting out of debt, learning how to start a business, learning how to invest that $2-3 extra dollars you have every week, whatever, learning how to put that into something that's going to help you eventually, maybe into a piggy bank that maybe one day you'll have a couple $100 in that you can, you know, you can scale that up. But you're going to have to learn how to get here. That's just not going to come to you. It might, but I'm not going to go with might. I'm going to go with something. Learn a skill. Get to here to here. But a lot of people put that off for a long time because they have excuses. So that's patient. And then when they finally start where they have a little bit of time, they get no traction. No traction. No traction. So screw it. What's the point? I'm destined to live here forever. That's impatient. So they go from patient, waiting to try to get to the next level. And they never do. Then they get impatient. And they just forget it and quit and then go back to where they started. The other direction was like impatient. It's like, all right, I'm here. I need to get here. What do I need to do right now? And you can do something right now. And you can do something right now that's inexpensive, that's free most of the time. Just learn something that's going to get you there. What's the first step to get here? YouTube a video. Watch these videos. Read a book. But do it immediately. Be impatient about reacting and acting on this. Once you realize that you're 38% sure that, shit, I'm in some Trump debt. I'm in debt and I have no money coming in. What am I going to do? You have to do something. Be impatient making that action. Once you're 38% sure of what that action is, take it. Take it. And then once you're in there, be patient. Take your time to get to here. Don't try to get to here, like I said, in one shot. Get to here. Right? Then do the same thing. What do you need to do to get to here? Be patient. No, it's going to take a while. You know, a lot of people do that in home business. They're like, oh, well, you know, I started here. I wanted to make a couple extra bucks to get here. How come I'm not here? How come I'm not wealth and impact yet? How come I'm not in prosperity? How come I'm not making $1 million to $150,000 to $1 million a year like the heavy hitters are? Because they took their time. They reacted. I mean, they saw a good opportunity. They jumped on it. Then they took their time learning the skills that they needed to go from here to here. So many stories from home business start here. Trump debt. Maybe not Trump debt, but I mean, some debt, foreclosures. A lot of people talk about foreclosures or, you know, being bankrupt or losing their families because they didn't have the money to, and then they got here because they were impatient. They're like, screw that, I'm going in. Jumped in, took a chance, they got here because they were patient about getting there. Then they were patient about getting to the next level and next level. It takes time, guys. You have to be patient after you're impatient as opposed to patient, waiting forever and then giving up. So, I mean, if that's something that, I hope this was valuable. I hope you got some value from it. I mean, this coaching program I'm taking has absolutely been mind-blowing for me. I've gotten so much great information so far, and I'm learning so much of this stuff every day, and I want you to be part of this. And I know a lot of people can't afford these coaching programs and these mentoring programs, and that's cool because I'm giving them to you. You know, just all you gotta do is kind of be part of my little community here, and you're gonna be getting all this stuff, all this information as I go, as I learn, and I'm learning a ton. So I hope this helps. I hope this was valuable. So, you know, if you go back to it, and if you keep saying, wish I knew then what I know now, or if you say that to yourself, remember that it's a pace of learning and that's going to continue and perpetually grow. So don't be patient, impatient, doing the things that you want to do, the things that you have to do, the things that you should do. Be impatient and be patient. Get started right away. If you want to take action right now, there is a link on this in the description box or an image on this page that you should click right away. That'll take you a little further down my rabbit hole. That'll put you in. You'll be automatically registered to join my free community where you learn most of the stuff, and that's parttimebusinessbuilders.com. And I send out emails every once in a while, and I put videos out, and I do stuff like this all the time, which I hope you enjoy. And then I'm also going to take you over to where you're going to go ahead and meet one of my mentors, Stuart, or one of my mentors, and you're going to get a couple links and a couple videos, and you're just going to have just a nice time enjoying being impatient because you acted, got in right now, because you saw an opportunity to say, hey, this guy kind of knows what he's doing. I'm 38% sure this guy knows what he's doing. And then you were impatient about making your decision. You got in. It's absolutely free, so it's kind of a win-win. And then as we move along, as we grow up this wealth triangle, we'll be patient getting up there. And we'll get up there together. I'm somewhere right about here. I'm just going to be as transparent as possible. I'm not up here. Maybe this year I'll be here. That'd be awesome. I'm really, it's early in the year still, so I'm pushing to get there. I'm really pushing to get there. But right now, I'm comfortably right here. So my next step is up here. So I'm doing and that's exactly what I'm doing. I was impatient. I knew I had to get here. What do I need to do? I need to get some coaching. I need to get some mentoring. I need to get some investing lessons. I need to get here. But I know it's going to take me time. So I was impatient, got a couple coaches. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I was impatient, made the decision, acted. I was 38% sure at least that I wanted to get more, get prosperity, get in this row. And now I'm being patient about getting there. And I'm helping you get there too. So this is part of my learning. So basically, as I teach you, I'm learning even further. So it's helping me achieve my goals further. Okay? Make 10-minute goals, not 10-year goals. Act right away. Get impatient once you're in. And once you know exactly once you know that you're on the right track, then be patient. It's going to get there. You're going to get there. Take your time. All right, guys. Again, thanks. I'm parttimebusinessbuilders.com. Click the link, the image below. Just get in with me. Doesn't hurt. It's free to do, and you can be learning a lot of cool stuff. So I will talk to you later, and I hope this was valuable. If it was, leave a comment down below. And what you should do is leave a comment and answer this question. What have you done, or what have you put off? You don't have to get too personal, too private. It could be in love, business, social, financially, fitness. Like, what have you put off longer than you should have, or longer than you've been, where you've been patient, and then maybe something you actually tried and you were impatient, you just gave up? Let's go back to that, but let's be impatient about starting. Let's start that back up, and then be patient about your goals and your achievements and your success. And then leave that message down below. Leave a comment and let me know what you thought about, A, this video, see if I should do more of these, and number 2, what that part of your life was where you were patient about getting to it and impatient about sticking with it, and how we can turn that around for you. All right, guys, again, Yuli Ribeiro, parttimebusinessbuilder.com. I know this went a little bit long. It went a lot long, but I hope you got some value from it. I'm going to send this out to my list and my members and my teammates, and hopefully everybody benefits from learning just a little bit from what I've been learning. All right, guys, thanks again. I'll talk to you real soon.